Right, in this video, we are going to just look quickly at the homework for this section on linear functions 30.3. So the first question asks to find the slope of the line containing those 2 points. Since they're on a graph, probably fairly easy to count. So I'm going to use my formula rise over run. So from this point here, it looks like they're rising up 8 units. So the rise is 8. And then the run, it's from 5 to 0. So the run has to be 5. But it's going to the left, so it'd be negative. So the slope of the line is negative 8 over 5. Then they say in question number 2, they ask to find the slope between those 2 points. Let me just graph those. So 1, 2, and negative 1 right there. And then 2 and negative 8. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 right there. And they want us to find the slope between that. Okay? So from this point to this point, I can do rise over run. So it looks like it's rising 6, but it's not running to the left or right, so I put a 0 there. But 0 in the denominator of a fraction is not allowed. And so I would say that that slope is undefined. Oh, I guess I just answered that one. Here's another question and asks to find the slope. Remember, though, this is just another way of writing the point 4, 10 and the point 7 and minus 3. Now, I've done most of them so far just looking at a graph, but why don't we use this formula on this one? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let's call this x1 and y1. This one x2 and y2. So y2 is a negative 3 minus y2 is a 10 over x2 is a 7 minus x1 is a 4. So minus 3 minus 10 is minus 13. 7 take away 4 is 3. So the slope of that line is negative 13 over 3. The next one's a little bit easier because they give us an equation. It's not really in the right format yet, but it's close. It's supposed to look like that, the equation of a line. So this one, all I have to do is swap places with the x and the 5 term. Notice that the sign in front of this term goes with it. So it's negative 4x. If there's no sign in front of the 5, we assume that to be positive. So if they want to know what the slope is, the slope's always the thing right in front of the x. So the slope is negative 4. Okay, this question, the number of crimes occurred in a city per 1,000 people had increased from 46.1 to 44.7. Find the average rate of change in the number of crimes per 1,000 people that occurred from 20 to 90. Okay, and they want us to do, typically I would say it's the rate of change in number of crimes and time. So it's crimes, my slope is going to be crimes over years. Okay, so in 1990 is 44.7, so 44.7 minus in 1920 it was 46.1 over the years that go to 44.7 is 1920 minus, 44.7 is 1990. I think I said 1990, but I wrote 1920. Okay, so it's 1990. Come on, pen. Minus 1920. Now it looks like the crimes went down, so I assume I'm going to get a negative number. So 44.7 minus 46.1. That's 314, 1.4, I think, negative, over years would be 70. Now, you could leave it like that. They may want us, Oh, they say to round to the nearest hundredth. So I would just go ahead and divide those. So it's going to be negative, whatever 1.4 divided by 70 is, 0.02 or something. I think I didn't have to do it with a calculator, but it'd be close to that. And that would be crimes per 1,000 people per year. That'd be that one there. Crimes are on the top, and they said per 1,000 people. So, and we did years on the bottom. So just like that, I think. Okay, the next question. Find the slope and the y-intercept of this line. Oh, that's interesting. So the line is x equals -2. If I see one like this or one like this, I know they're either horizontal or vertical. This one, x is always -2. Here's x -2 right there. So if x is always -2, it has to be that line right there. That's a vertical line. And the slope of a vertical line is always 0. Oh, not 0, undefined. Yeah, undefined. Oh, it's right there. Yeah, so the slope is undefined. And the y-intercept, oh, here's the y-axis. That line will never cross the y-axis. So there isn't a y-intercept. The next line is y equals -7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7. And so the line would look like this. It's a horizontal line. And so they want to know what the slope is. The slope of a flat line like that is 0. And the y-intercept, it crosses right there at -7. Oh, they say type an ordered pair. So the ordered pair would be x is 0 and y is -7. That's a better way to write it. Now, just one way to remember, and this is a silly way to remember the slopes and which is which. So if you have a vertical line, think of yourself running or skiing or whatever on that vertical line. And how much fun are you going to have? You're going to have undefined fun. Whereas if you are on a flat line like this one and you're running along, you're not going to have much fun at all. You'll have 0 fun. Okay, next question says graph the equation using the slope and the y-intercept. Well, this isn't in the right format, so I have to change that. So I'm going to move to the x to the other side, and it'll become negative plus 10. And then I'm going to divide everything by 5 because I want to make it look in the end like that. So I'm going to have y is equal to here. Here, this will be negative. There's no number in front of the x. We assume it to be a 1. So -1/5 x, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. So to graph that, I would start at a +2 right there, and then -1/5. So I'm going to drop 1 and run 5 to the right, right to there. So my line will look something like that. If I wanted to, I could have gone up 1 and 5 to the left, and that point would be on that same line. Okay, worded question. Suppose that while driving the car, somebody sees something, yeah, whatever. There's our formula. So that's the reaction distance. So they say, what is the slope? Well, that's just the number right there, 21/20. Then they say, what is the distance given a whole bunch of numbers here? And all of those numbers, the 10, etc., those are always the r value. And what does r stand for? Looks like it's the rate of speed. So I'll just do the first one. So d of 10 is equal to, so my formula is 21/20 times r, and in this case r is 10, plus 3/4. So 21, that'd be 2, be 10.5, I think. Is that right? 10 goes in itself once and into here 2. 2 into 21 goes 10.5. Here I'm mixing decimals and fractions. 3/4 is, oh, they want it. It looks like they want it in fractions. Maybe I should write this as 10.5 plus 3/4. So you'd want to add those together. You could do that on your calculator. If you like fractions, it'd be 10 and 2/4 plus 3/4, so it'd be 10 and 5/4. There's more than 4/4 there, so I'm going to take one of these and put it over there. So it'll be 11 1/4. So that would be the mixed number. You could also write it as an improper fraction. 4 times 11 is 44, plus the 1, that'd be 45/4. So that's probably the number they're looking for, is 45/4. But like I said, you can do this part on your calculator. Last question, watch the video, okay? Well, watch the video, and then we'll see if we can answer the questions. So there's the equation of my line. They want to know what the slope. It's always the number right in front. So the slope is 7/8. Then they say find the y-intercept. That's always the number at the end, so -2. Oh, they want an ordered pair, so that has to be 0, -2. Hopefully that helps you out with the homework for this section.